Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we'll be doing a Game Week 14 team review, as well as revealing our plans for Game Week 15. What if Haaland plays, or what if Haaland does not play? So please stay tuned till the end. However, before we kick off, please remember to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. We'll really appreciate it, as your support will help the YouTube algorithm as we are trying to grow this channel going forward. Also, feel free to follow us on Twitter at FPL_A+, and join our FPL mini league. So how did the team do in Game Week 14? Starting at the back in goal, Nick Pope was a rock and carried on his recent great performances with another sterling 6-point score. Crystal Palace put in a great defensive display, and Anderson came home with a 6-point score. Trippier was again the star of the defense as he continued an amazing season with an assist and an 11-point score. Patterson from Everton got back recently from injury. He started off the bench and was our auto sub as a result of Doherty that did not actually play. He secured a 1-point score, unfortunately. In midfield, Mo Salah scored a goal and looked again in great touch for a 14-point score for our captain. Wilfred Zaha disappointed again and blanked for a 2-point score. Gabriel Martinelli scored a brilliant goal with an 8-point score. Phil Foden did not start, came off the bench and only managed 1 point. Andreas blanked for a 3-point score. Up front, our two strikers disappointed, with Mitrovic and Harry Kane both securing only 1 point. In total, the team managed 54 points, which was quite disappointing, as that compared to an average of 59. In total, this resulted in our overall rank receiving a red arrow and going down to 60,560. After all the green arrows, it is understandable that there will be the odd game week that there will be a red arrow. We are not too disheartened. The benefit is that we have 2 free transfers to take forward, and we need to maximize that with power moves. In hindsight, there was an opportunity when Phil Foden team leak was announced that for Manchester City that he was not starting along with Haaland. There was an opportunity to move Phil Foden over to someone such as Almiron. However, hindsight can always be a good thing, and Almiron just managed to score another goal. However, at this stage, having 2 free transfers might actually be beneficial for the next 2 game weeks. So we are still hopeful that this puts us in a good position, and in this video we'll reveal our plans for these power moves. This is how the FPLA Super League currently looks like. In first position we have got Mohamed Osman. Well done, Mohamed. In second place we've got a new FPL manager, Sanusi Adunji. Well done. And then in third place we've also got someone that moved up, Jamie Duncan. Well done, Jamie. Fourth place we've got yours truly, that's dropped down now to 4th place after the last game week. In 5th place we've got Dennis Kuswinda, who's gone sideways. And then we've got 6th place we've got Arnav Garg, who's also dropped down. In 7th place moving up we've got Mebni Muhammad Amr. In 8th place we've got Shazad Ahmed. 9th place we've got Riza Ramadan, and 10th place we've got Dries Otafura. Well done to everybody that's made it into the FPLA Plus top 10 in the league, and those that are outside the top 10, keep on pushing and your time will be there soon. Our current players watch list is as follows. The most sought after player that we are currently looking for is Callum Wilson, after his brilliant performance in the last game week where he scored 2 goals and 2 assists. He's a player, when he's not injured, can be quite prolific. He's playing for a Newcastle side that seems to be re-energized under Eddie Howe, and the team just seems to be clicking. So while he's not injured, and only 2 game weeks left to the World Cup. This could be a good opportunity, as Caleb Wilson's also got motivation in terms of trying to impress Gareth Southgate to try to get a spot in terms of the England team for the World Cup. So at 7.5 million, and with fixtures such as Southampton and Chelsea next, he could represent great value. He's already risen in price on more than one occasion recently. If you are buying him, he could definitely increase your team value, as well as he's likely to increase in price going forward. Then playing for the same team, we've also got Almiron, who at 5.6 million is unbelievable value. He also plays in the front 3 and similar fixtures obviously as Caleb Wilson, and he definitely has also had the season of his life currently. Then we've got Kevin De Bruyne, who at 12.5 million as a premium. He has recently gone on a good turn of form. He's a world-class player, one of the best in his position in the world, if not the best. And with his fixtures, with 2 games at home, Fulham and Brentford, if he plays both those games, he could absolutely smash the opposition. Then similarly, we've got Cancelo as well from Manchester City, 7.4 million, a defender, but you could classify him as an attacker that also gets clean sheet points. With great fixtures, Fulham and Brentford, if he plays the next 2, you could definitely see great value from him. Then we've got, for the first time this season, we have got a Manchester United forward. We've got Marcus Rashford. In actual fact, he's classified as a midfielder, but he plays up front. And at 6.6 million, this could be one of the bargains of the season. He seems to be turning his form, his confidence is back. He's also trying to get into that World Cup squad, and with fixtures that are Aston Villa and Fulham next, those could also be quite tasty fixtures, with a Manchester United team that seems to be turning the corner and are quite solid defensively, that allows the attackers to actually go forward with confidence. The only downside is that both those fixtures are away from home, but I don't think that that should matter much, as both Aston Villa and Fulham have both struggled recently. So Manchester United could potentially take advantage of that. The current plans that we have for Game Week 15, at this stage we've got 3 plans. The first plan that involves if HAALAND is likely to play, and there is reasonable news from a reliable source. Sometimes there is news that breaks a half an hour or 15 minutes before the actual start of the game week, if it's the first match. If HAALAND is likely to play, then our 2 weakest links in our current team are possibly Zaha and Mitrovic. Zaha has failed to disappoint recently, and does not seem to be playing as attacking as he did at the early start of the season. His fixtures are, it's a bit of a mixed bag. West Ham could be a bit tricky, as West Ham have been quite good defensively. Then Nottingham Forest, they started the season not on good form and were letting goals in for fun. Recently they seem to be a bit more solid at the back, and it seems like they have tightened up. So that might not necessarily be sort of an easy game for Crystal Palace. You'd still expect them to win. That might not have been as tasty as one would have initially thought when Zaha was brought in. And then Mitrovic, this is quite a tough sell, as Mitrovic has been one of the stars of the season. Also great value at 6.9 million. However, he plays Manchester City next, which is away from home, and then Manchester United. You probably got to think that he should have his fair chance of luck to be able to score in those matches. So it is very possible that Mitrovic could score a goal in either of those 2 matches. However, you don't expect him to haul. Those 2 sets of teams are quite solid at the back. So there could be more upside. If we've got 2 free transfers, we might as well go for the power move. And the power move up front is for Caleb Wilson. So he's the first transfer in. And Wilfried Zaha, the power move for him is Marcus Rashford. So those are the 2 transfers in terms of plan 1. Okay, so plan 2. Okay, so this is quite a bit of a major overhaul. So this is at a cost of -4. The thought process with this is that Tottenham Hotspur seem to have had some injury woes. Heung-min Son came off this evening with some sort of concussion that might be quite serious. Even if it's not, it is likely to probably keep him out of the next 2 matches at least. And if Spurs are going to lack Kulusevski, Richarlison and Son, then the question is who will be providing those attacking balls to Harry Kane. That is probably going to unravel when Spurs play Liverpool. Antonio Conte is likely to be playing quite a deep defense, and Harry Kane could probably only get the occasional ball and perhaps on the counter attack or these set pieces. That's the thought, in theory at least, in terms of the style that Antonio Conte has been playing. Harry Kane is, though, a world-class player, and on his day he can take teams apart, so it's a bit of a risk. However, it's sort of a punt that we are considering, and also if we look at the players that we are bringing in, there is a potential upside. Mitrovic we've already covered before in plan 1 while we're transferring him out, and then Doherty, the third player that we are transferring out in this plan, is as a result of him not being a regular in the team, and he's unfortunately taking up space, and we could potentially upgrade that position with 2 game weeks left to go. It makes sense to transfer someone in that could give you more upside. And that player that we are earmarking is none other than João Cancelo as a replacement for Doherty. Then his fixtures, as we already mentioned, Fulham and Brentford at home. Those are unbelievable home games. And then the replacement for Harry Kane we're looking at is Gabriel Jesus. And he's got quite high ownership. I've been quite surprised. It's still currently around 58-59%, which is actually quite massive. And his fixtures are both away games, which is the only dampener. The next match is against Chelsea, and then it's Wolves. Chelsea away record or home record against Arsenal in the past few seasons has not been very good, so that augurs quite well for Gabriel Jesus if that continues. Also, Chelsea have been struggling quite a bit recently, been a bit hot and cold. And Arsenal with Mikel Arteta has got the team gelling, and the team spirit has been unbelievable. So Chelsea could be there ready for the taking. And then the third player that we've got that we're bringing in for Mitrovic is Caleb Wilson. And he's the man that's on form, the man that's really motivated and playing for a super spirited, highly energized Newcastle team. And those fixtures look quite good on paper, and you'd expect Caleb Wilson should be scoring in both those matches. So that's plan number 2. Plan number 3, this is what if news breaks that Haaland is not playing, and in order to maximize the transfers, you are planning to transfer him out. So the 3 players that we are looking at transferring out would be Haaland, Wilfried Zaha and Mitrovic. Those would probably be the 3 weaker teammates in the current team. And the main target would be firstly to bring another Manchester City attacker, would be Kevin De Bruyne, as that would give you a captaincy option. And then also Caleb Wilson, as he represents great value and some good potential for the next 2 fixtures. and then that would need to be funded, so you would need to downgrade a player, and the best downgrade that can be foreseen without significantly decreasing the team structure would be Mitrovic to Solanke. Solanke has been on a bit of a sort of inconsistent streak. He had a great recent streak and then seemed to be dying down. Moore started up front in the last game, scored a brace. So the only concern is whether with Moore in the team, if that will actually be taking up some of Solanke's chances and opportunities. However, he still is a great striker for a team such as Bournemouth, who probably won't be getting as much opportunities as some of the top teams, but he can be quite clinical when on form. So that is plan number 3 if there is no Haaland and we remove Haaland from the team. This is how the team will line up. This is if Haaland plays. At the back in goal we'll have Nick Pope. In defense we'll have Kieran Trippier, we'll have Castagna and Anderson. In midfield we'll have Marcus Rashford, Mo Salah, Phil Foden and Gabriel Martinelli. Up front, the strikers would be Callum Wilson, Harry Kane and Erling Haaland. The captaincy armband would then be on Erling Haaland with the vice captaincy on Mo Salah. This would be the potential changes if we had to shift to team number 2, the transfers that we showed earlier. The circled players in red are the players that would be removed, and the circled players in green are the players that would take their place. So instead of Marcus Rashford, Wilfried Zaha would remain in the team. Instead of Harry Kane, Gabriel Jesus would take his place. And instead of Doherty, you would have João Cancelo that would take his place, as well as João Cancelo taking a starting place in place of either Castagna or Anderson, who would move to the bench. That is Game Week 15 team number 2. Game Week 15 team number 3, if there is no Haaland, the team would line up as follows: Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier in defense along with Castagna and Anderson. In midfield we'll have Kevin De Bruyne, we'll have Mo Salah, Phil Foden and Gabriel Martinelli. Up front, our strikers would be Callum Wilson, Harry Kane and Dominic Solanke. Our captaincy armband would then be on Kevin De Bruyne with the vice captaincy on Mo Salah. That's how our team is planned at this stage. Please keep in mind that our team for Game Week 15 is entirely dependent on team news, availability of most notably Erling Haaland, as well as midweek games and any other team news from press conferences as well as injuries. So please stay tuned, follow us on Twitter for any further developments. I hope you enjoyed the video and this helps you for your Game Week 15 planning. Until next time, all the best for Game Week 15.